Old friend. He is straight off of the plane coming from Dubai, back in New York. He is a USCF master, a longtime scholastic coach in New York City, one of the originals to my mind. He is a chess streamer. He streams under the name Master Chess Dojo, of course, not to be confused with Coach Jakubowski, Jesse Cry, and David Pruse's Chess Dojo. He's coached many national champions, including Grandmaster Mark Arnold. And he just attended his 6th World Championship. He's also a registered FIDE trainer and been to 6 World Championships. He's been sharing his pictures of Dubai on his Facebook and other socials. And I've just, again, been watching and been jealous. So I wanted to get the rundown from this trip and also just sort of a broader comparison to the many other World Championships our guest has been privileged to attend. So let's welcome John MacArthur. John, what's going on?
Thank you, Ben. You're doing a terrific job with the podcast. I'm such a fan.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And for listeners, John and I go way back. We often taught the same classes back in like 2001, 2002, which has been a theme with recent guests who are somehow all convening in Dubai, except for me. So while I sit here in New Jersey in my basement, but John, so tell us about the trip. Like what's your greatest memory from it at this moment, without having had full time to process it, but I saw a lot of pictures with legends. So what do you think most fondly of at this moment?
It was great to reconnect. I think there's no event like the World Chess Championship to really sew together the community of serious chess players, and the community really does bond around this event because you're not there necessarily to play, such as on the first day when I was in the playing area and I realized I'm in this room watching the two players when I could easily be outside analyzing the game with my friends, as well as is often done. There are chess boards that are set up outside the hall, and occasionally there's some analysis boards near a cafe or anything like that where you can analyze with friends and people walk up. And there's no shortage of strong players available, not unlike Vichy Anand being accessible. In 1990, I remember I had the board set up and Boris Spassky walks up and shakes my hand. He's got a huge basketball player-like hand, and he has me by about 4 inches, and I'm 6'1". I don't remember how tall he is, but I know he was taller than me. Or maybe that was just my impression, because when Spassky walks up to you at a world championship, you think, huh, right?
Like, yeah, tall figuratively, if not literally, but it sounds like both. Yeah.
Right.
And was that at a world championship as well, John?
That was the 1990 Hotel Maclo. I think it was the 1990 New York-Lyon match. For the last half of that, I had to fly to Oslo for an armed forces tournament. So again, each of the world championships, I only got to see a portion of it, with the exception of 1995. I was very lucky when PCA organizer Sophia Rode and John Donaldson, International Master John Donaldson, and I head up the press room at the top of the World Trade Center.
So that's Kasparov, Anand.
That was Kasparov.
And the aforementioned 1990 was Kasparov, Karpov?
Karpov, yes.
Wow.
And they had also analysis stations with many grandmasters in a variety of different rooms. In the World Trade Center, they had analysis stations in all 4 corners, as well as the central location with Grandmaster Maurice Ashley. And that was very eerie, of course, because we were at the top of the World Trade Center on the anniversary, I think, of the previous bombing in the garage. So they wanted an official event to reopen the World Trade Center after the tragedy of the attempted terrorist attack from, I don't even remember when the car garage bombing was, but it was quite an event. And I'm very thankful to the PCA and Intel for sponsoring that, and Sophia Road for giving me that opportunity.
Amazing. So many world championship stories. And what about this one, John? So I got the impression online that FIDE's communication wasn't amazing about like how to get tickets and stuff like that. So,
oh my God.
So when
I did not have a ticket for the first game when I went in.
I was going to ask, yeah.
I don't know if you caught part of that or if anyone watched my stream, because I was actually streaming on my way to the first game. I had purchased a ticket my credit card company told me I purchased a ticket, but because you try to make repeat purchases, like I'm going to buy a ticket for the first game, the second game, and the third game. Now I'm making these on the Platinum app in another country. So my credit card company immediately flagged it as a fraud purchase right off the bat. So I couldn't purchase the second ticket. The first ticket never comes up. And I'm pretty certain that I purchased a ticket. But needless to say, I stream, and I actually can see it, the 95 on my bill as I checked online, but I don't have the physical ticket in my thing. So I streamed up to the door. Then, amazingly enough, they have this policy of taking away everyone's phones at the door. So I lose my streaming capability at that moment. And then I enter the facility anyway after they take my phone and whatnot. Fortunately, I was able to watch the first game, the one that I had already paid for. And I was in that room. I was afraid to leave because I was afraid I wouldn't be let back in to a certain extent.
Well, so you bought your ticket to Dubai, not having tickets to the event. So this was in Dubai that you were attempting to buy the tickets?
No, I purchased them a couple weeks in advance.
But you
Or
were
I
abroad,
attempted a couple of them a
or
week,
it was just
week
because
or
it was
two
an
in advance.
international transaction?
Yes.
Ah,
So
okay.
I'm in, yeah, and so therefore I never got around to purchasing tickets for the remaining two events. And of course, while you're there and you go online, the tickets are completely sold out. Now there's massive amounts of room in there because I think they're only allowed to sell 50% of the seats available.
Okay.
Massive amounts of room available. There were a few other things I know they settled afterwards. Lennart Oates is, if I'm pronouncing it, Oates
Roots, I
is
believe. Yeah.
fixing that as we speak. I got a
Um,
chance to speak to him, as Sophia pointed out, that he was the person in charge because I'm in the hall. I'm listening to the broadcast on the earpiece, only they're not showing Vichy's broadcast in the room. You just have the DGT board, the players, which is a lovely view. It's a beautiful setup. If anyone wants to see more of the setup and the behind the scenes, Chess Base India had a good the Sagar Shah, who I had a great opportunity to meet, and his wife is lovely. They did a great job showing the premises. But basically, you're watching the players on one camera, the DGT board on the other camera, and in my ear, Vichy is saying, "Well, this move here," and he's so polite. If
he
you'll
sure
allow
is.
me
Yeah.
to make it, if you'll allow me to make the move, then he makes the move on whatever board he's on, but you don't see it. And then we can put the rook over here, and this will allow knight to c3. Now you're trying to figure out what's going
It's good training.
on. Blindfold chess without notation,
Well,
and it
John,
wasn't his fault.
I drove home Sunday. I was driving from my in-laws from Pittsburgh to New Jersey, which is a 5-hour drive, and it was during the match. So I watched the first two games like in front of the screen glued the whole time. But driving home, I just had an earpiece listening to the YouTube coverage without, I'm not going to put it on the screen. I'm not going to even glance at a board.
Right,
I had the GPS on my phone. So I also got some blindfold training trying to follow game three. But it was
and
tough
here
because
doesn't work.
they're not saying the moves, you know? So anyway, but yeah, it's funny how that works. But you think FIDE will get these things straightened out in Dubai, the minor technical glitches?
Yeah, I think that they had the first three games as good training for the most part. Lennart was going to see that he could make certain that the broadcast was being shown in the room. But there was a little bit of a communications gap between what this facility was providing as far as coverage or how many screens the facility was providing versus what the marketing or the setup department was doing. And I have to say, Leonard is doing a great job, and he's hustling, and he's I'm positive being underpaid for this position because
Yeah.
he doesn't have enough help, and um, crossing my
Leonard's
fingers that all
Len,
everything's ironed out on the rest day.
Yeah, he's an amazing chess photographer, by the way, and listeners should definitely check out his website. He sells. You can either just download his pictures and then get them printed yourself, or have them printed. I have a poster on the way, and if the online thing works, I'll probably be getting more. But um, So bringing it back to the match, I mean, one thing you say about them not being set up, I found it amazing. David Latta, also from FIDE, he's
Mhm.
been tweeting a lot of pictures, and I've seen the tours that you mentioned. Like I am Tanya Sakchev's been sharing them online, and the aforementioned Sagar Shah of Chess Base India. Um, so it looks like a beautiful facility. It looks very nice, but it was amazing. David's like showing them building the board like from scratch, like the day before the match. I'm like, we're,
Yes, I
you've
arrived early for the opening ceremony. In fact, I'd booked my ticket well in advance before the opening ceremony was closed to the public, so I had an extra day to go to the facility and see like wires hanging out of the press center.
right.
It was like no setup practically whatsoever 2 days before the match, and I'm like, OMG, how are they going to do this? And
Yeah.
I thought the press room is inordinately small, which I think some people may have determined from Theo of Lichess, who quoted himself as having to work from a cafe 2 kilometers away, even though they're using the Lichess software.
Wow.
And I actually chimed in on that one too, because Lukash, I'm trying to remember his name. I think he is the FIDE. He might be the FIDE press or marketing director. Lukash offered him the media center, which is still a little bit of a distance across the expo uh, uh, lot uh, from where we are. But it was something because he threw in the free refreshments. I'm like, now that's a save. If you throw in free drinks and food for the
Nice.
trouble of being a little further away, that might be good.
And John, I saw you posted on one of your social media feeds a picture with Anand. Had you in all your other world championships come across Fishy prior to this encounter?
Well, actually, I knew Vichy from 1994 and 1995, also before the in the candidate cycle. In fact, there's a picture just above me of the 1994 candidates matches where I'm standing in the center. That one was sent to me by Larry Christensen because I was the PCA assistant arbiter to Carol Jarecki. And you have Vichy playing Romanician, Tiviakov playing I'm sorry, Kramnik playing Kamsky, Nigel Short playing. I'm trying to remember. Michael Adams is playing Tiviakov. And anyway, they're all in that poster, which was a classic for its day, and that was in Trump Tower in 1994. But prior to that, I'd met Vichy because Sophia Road had organized the Winter Garden Chess Classic Festival, whatever, which is also up there in the corner. The Chess Days and Nights of New York, with the skyscrapers being resembled or uh, brought up from chess pieces instead of skyscrapers in the Manhattan Island. But yeah, no, he hung out with us quite a bit. I was very lucky to meet Kramnik in those days because of Anna Hahn, also at that event. Uh, they were staying in the Trump Plaza, I believe, at the time, and they were like walk-in closets for rooms, and they were they were kind of disappointed that you're staying in the Trump Plaza. But for whatever budgeted room, it was just a walk-in closet. In any event, yeah, Vichy remembered me from those days. Fortunately,
Of course he did. She
he's got
remembers
a good
everything.
memory. If he can remember a game between Shirov and someone from an alternative move order from 2002, arriving in this position, which might have been in game three, I think, had that gone that way.
Amazing. And
No, that was
did you?
game two. Yeah.
And I'm sure that Magnus and Nepo are kept under. They probably try to avoid the masses. But did you see them at all, other than when they appeared on stage?
Yes, I was very lucky because the opening ceremony, David Latta had sent a letter out to the media or about the media not being allowed into the press conference because I'm sorry, to the opening ceremony because the royalty, the Emirate royalty of the UAE, I don't know whether it was the king or the son of the king who was going to be there. They decided to heighten the security. And it was held at the Paris Opera House, which is a certain distance away. I was very lucky that one of the members of my chat in my online stream for Master Chess Dojo, one of the members who lives in Jakarta, was there, and we met up on that opening ceremony afternoon as he was also inspecting the site,
Hmm.
completely unfinished and appalled that they are going to start in 2 days. But he was the one who sort of influenced me. Let's go over and see if we can crash the opening ceremony anyway. So we go over and we circle around, and the Emirate performers that are out front, there's like a troop of about 8 that are dancing and playing drums and stuff like that. So as you approach the door of the opening ceremony, they start performing. But since we know we're not going on in, we veer off to
I
go
thought you were
around.
going to say you started pretending to drum and just like walked in with
No,
them. Oh, okay.
I didn't have the right
The
dress,
right attire.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
I did not have a headdress or anything like that, or
Okay.
so we veer off, and then we start to come back. But every time we start to come back to approach the door, they start performing like motion activated performers.
Huh.
so, so we decided. We actually went around. We attempted to inquire about tickets, and then finally we actually went in past the performers,
How'd you
and
get in?
a lovely young girl by the name of Sarah almost let us in. She was very earnest. She contacted
Good morning,
David.
grasshoppers. It is time for us to get back into the action of the Linda Diaz Birthday Arena. Linda Diaz was a great student, multiple-time national champion, and a talented musical artist. Just did something in LA. Good morning, Chess is my heart. He was one of the founding dojo students in the early 2000s. We have Logic in the house. Good morning, Logic. We'll give Logic a shout out in just a moment. Oh. Keep track of our progress here, just in case. Siddhartha and Anandan, how are you? Yesterday for a week I resolved that we will be playing a la Dr. Banco. Well, okay, maybe we're not going to be playing a la Dr. Banco. Do I want to play it that way? Have we reached our pinnacle of understanding? Find out. It looks pretty good. Am I losing a pawn? Good question. We'll find out in a moment. Interesting. I don't know if this is going to work at all. It is going to be interesting, though. This is all part of the plan. Maybe I had a different part of the plan. Maybe. Interesting. Only one train this morning. Okay. Moment of truth. Very serious moment of truth. I don't think I'm getting anywhere with this one, unfortunately. Yes. Houston, we may or may not have a problem. What are we missing here? Ah, that's what we're missing. We tuned out the Perpetual Chess podcast, but we did not tune out who do you think you are? Are we threatening anything along the second rank? That is a good question. Let us find out. If I'm threatening something first, it would be good to know. Mm-hmm. Is there a small threat? There is a small threat. Can I get locked into this? I need something. I need some music. How about some pop, pop music? Oh, I know what we can do. Silly me. It is Linda Diaz's birthday. We definitely need to put on John Avery Diaz is now performing. Is that her brother? That's very cool and crazy all at the same time. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Make my day. Oh no! Grr. Another one bites dust. Trying to put on music and play at the same time when I'm not paying attention. Ah, silly me. One thing at a time, John. Guys, don't multitask. Well. First things first, we'll throw on some pop music of sorts while I find the other. What is going on here? We're missing a browser source. A window capture, maybe that's it. Three minutes and 32 seconds left. That's very unfortunate. And I'm not finishing on the top page at all. We already put up a Twitter poll on whether or not to switch to 5.3 or 3.5 starting Monday, March 1st. We participate in the poll. Going on here. Oh, I see. Pardon me. Sad 62, good morning. Much better than yesterday from what I remember, even though I may or may not have lost the game yesterday. I remember what happened yesterday. For whatever reason, this is not such a great variation from the Queen's Gambit declined. It's better if white or if black, just like in the semi-terrace, plays for if black waits for knight f3 by white in this random variation. Your honesty. Good morning. Rogan Joe Sloan, RJS, how are you? Rogan Joe Sloan and the Legends of the Stream. He woke me up. The arena probably is very close to over, unfortunately. Can I just attack like this? Can I? I'm going to sack one. I'm technically down 2 at the moment. But let's see what happens. Well, it actually worked out a little better than I thought. So how do I want to continue this? Mm-hmm. And now for what? Am I really going to have this problem? I am going to have this problem. Darn it. That's craziness. Oh no. I got lucky today, said. Namaste. I do appreciate you. Congratulations to Siddharth. The link ban is on. Drunken Hard Streamer. I am, unfortunately, I haven't not. I'm going to fix that, I promise. When? Good question. But I am going to fix it once my week is tidied up a little bit. The world is going on here. Have a great day, everyone. I am running to school. I can't afford to be. What? Am I misspelling this? Or can I not read? We'll see. I guess I can't do it. I don't have time for this. I must run. Have a great day, everyone. I will. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Cheers. Thank you so much.